Welcome back to Learning Guitar with Demoz School of Music. Your teacher is Tony Doss, celebrated guitarist and professional musician with 2 decades of experience. In case you missed the previous episode, we'd highly recommend watching it to learn the major scale, which is fundamental to playing guitar.
Hi, this is Tony Doss from Demoz School of Music, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode on our course for how to play guitar for beginners. Today, again, it's going to be a little bit of a short one, I think. We're just going to learn how to experiment a little bit with our metronome, and we're going to add a little bit more to some of the rhythm playing that we've already done. We're going to double up the speed a little bit. Not to say that we want to go blindingly fast or anything of the sort, but it's very important to us developing our skills as a rhythm guitarist to be able to play in time and at a fairly advanced tempo. So tempo or speed, as we mentioned in the last episode. So I'm going to pull up my metronome again. And now if you remember what we were doing in the past, what we were doing was for every click of the metronome, every time the metronome went click, we tried to synchronize one downstroke. But now what we're going to do is we're going to double that up. So for every click of the metronome, we're going to try and do 2 downstrokes. And so just for the sake of simplicity, I think we will use the knocking on heaven's door chords again, just so that we're familiar a little bit. So let's see what this sounds like if I play 2 downstrokes for every click. We'll start off with 1. Okay, so we are already familiar with that sound. Those were the chords of knocking on heaven's door, but not in the right order. We were just getting a feel for what the old practicing with 1 downstroke per click sounded like. Now we'll do this with 2 downstrokes per click. Again, it's going to be at a much quicker tempo than the song. So let's not keep anything about the song in mind except the fact that the chords are the same. Okay, so you might think that it's going to be hard to perform this song, to sing the song at this speed, and that's true, but we're just using these chords for the sake of the exercise. Now, you might have also noticed I was playing chords that look different from what we learned, and this is something we will cover. There's many different ways to play the same chord. For right now, what I was doing was I was playing chords that were making it easier for me to mute the strings in between chords, and we'll get to those kinds of chords later. But so the main part of this was that for every click of the metronome, I was playing 2 downstrokes. And so this is kind of challenging our right hand to do things at double the tempo that we're used to. And it's good to challenge ourselves in this kind of way every now and again, especially when we start working with the metronome and pushing up the tempo. But it's also very important because to be able to maintain fast tempos as a rhythm guitar player is really important. And right now we're only using downstrokes, and this is a good exercise to help develop the steadiness of our downstrokes. But eventually we will get into using both down and up strokes, and that's when we can really start to hear some dynamics in our playing. Because right now, everything sounds even and straight and without much variation, which is good. That's the sound that we want in many circumstances, in many situations. But in many other situations, what we want is a sound that kind of moves a little bit more, that has a little bit more dynamics to it, it has a little bit more of a variation in sound, and it has a more of a cyclic feeling to it. So in which case we will start to incorporate upstrokes as well. But that's the topic for another lesson. So once again, with the metronome, we start at a tempo that's comfortable, and with this particular exercise, it might not be so comfortable because we need to double the speed of our downstrokes. But that's okay. If necessary, slow the metronome down. We double the speed of our downstrokes so that we're doing 2 downstrokes per click of the metronome. And then we get comfortable doing these chord changes or any other chord changes, playing at this tempo. And then once we get comfortable, we turn up the speed on the metronome, just like we've been doing for all of our other exercises. And that's how we gauge our progress in this particular area. So that's it. Just a short one for today's class, and I hope you liked some of the ideas that we talked about here. I hope you start incorporating them into your playing. And if you did like today's lesson, please like and share and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next lesson.